Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We appreciate you being here, especially those new subscribers. Today we're going to do a thing called Drive and Talk. And this is in beautiful Phuket, Thailand, as I'm leaving the Airbnb. Today I really wanted to talk about something that has been a hot story. I don't want to use the word hot. Something that's been a story here, a tragic, sad story here for the last month and some days. And it's the story about Ricky Eury. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing the last name correctly. It's spelled E-U-R-Y. He's from Bristol. He's 39 years old, and he is a pretty accomplished chef in Bristol and gets a lot of his influence from Thai food, as we all do. So this story about Ricky touches on so many things that are really important to all of us expats. And the first thing, it's not even expats this is important to. It's the first thing I think is danger. I was just responded to a fatal accident of a motorcycle rider. And you might have followed it here on this channel. And one of the things that one of the other first responders said was that, hey, this is why I don't want to ride a motorcycle here in Thailand. And he was being genuine, and I responded genuinely in a low voice. I'm like, brother, we could be literally walking down the street, coming down some stairs, anything could happen, and that might be that. And he's like, yeah, I understand that, and I appreciate that. However, I think that the chance of riding a bike just accelerates it all. And I said, well, I respect that. That's fine. I get it. The point of that part of the story is the first touch point of the Ricky Eury story. So Ricky was coming out of lunch and from Muay Thai training. So he is a famous chef, very accomplished, and he trains in Muay Thai and loves it. And I totally get it. I do it too. It's a community that it's just a wonderful community. So Ricky is coming out of his training here in Phuket, and he did something, and I talk about this frequently. I really do. And people make fun of me talking about it. And that's, so when I was in the Philippines, walking down the sidewalk in the Philippines, I thought was one of the most dangerous things about the Philippines. I saw people, both foreigners and locals, fall down just walking on the sidewalk in the Philippines. And it really gave me a whole new perspective of paying attention to where you're going and being situationally aware. I've made several videos about being situationally aware, and I totally still believe in it, that you here living, especially living in Asia, especially as you get older, you have to be aware of what's in front of you, what's behind you, what's to the side of you. Is there concrete barbs sticking off of the sidewalk? I was just amazed at the sidewalks in the Philippines. All that being said, I'm getting off the point and not going to the exact point of Ricky crossing the road. I wasn't there. I have read close to 10 different reports about it, and I can't really, and I know from my own personal experience about wrecks that they're just tough to piece together. And so that's what's going on with the Ricky story. Is I don't know if he looked the wrong way, if he looked the right way. I do know that a Yamaha XM. No, I know a Yamaha X Max, driven by two people, hit him, and then two of the reports, and I wasn't even going to mention this, but two of the reports have them just leaving him there. And the other reports don't mention it. I don't know why that is. Anyway, so Ricky sustained tremendous injury, fractured skull, broken ribs, broken face. And again, like I said, two reports said that he was left there. The other reports didn't even touch on it. But I do know 3 or 4 reports say that the couple was arrested there on the spot, or not there on the spot. They were arrested as soon as they were caught. So I do know that. So that's the first touchstone. There's danger in Asia. There's danger at all ages, and certainly there's danger crossing the streets, I think, every time whether it's Thailand or the Philippines. That's the number one issue, that just be aware that there's danger. The number two thing about this whole story that's so ironically weird is that his health insurance expired 2 days before. And so that is turning out to be obviously a huge issue. It's reported, at least on one, that it's 10,000 pounds a day. And I believe that's $12,000. I'm not quite sure, but it's a huge amount of money. So with that being said, I know that a lot of hospitals won't even release you to the next stage of care unless you pay. So the community, there's two different communities that have stepped up for Ricky. One is the food community, and the other is the Muay Thai community. At this point, they've already raised over 20,000 pounds. And on May 10th, on May 10th, there's going to be a fundraiser, which I'm going to try to watch, and I certainly will give what I can. Of course, a GoFundMe has been set up, and if you have a problem with that, just don't give. I mean, it's just that simple. If you have a problem with people asking for money in these situations, just don't give. You don't have to say anything crappy. That's how I feel about that. So the number two issue is the healthcare issue with Ricky and the 2 days of expiration. But then you fast forward to now. So this whole situation has ignited a debate, the debate again within the Thailand government about insurance for foreigners and travelers. So they realize that people are coming here and leaving broken people, both financially and physically, because of the healthcare system here. And, again, coming from America, I have nothing to say and no room to say it. So, the point being is that I have a plan B and a plan C, at least I believe I do, and I'm working on the healthcare situation. So Ricky's healthcare is part of the issue. The number three issue about it is that the government is working now to get back to having healthcare and also have a reasonable ceiling. So let's say that it's 300,000 baht was nothing. Ricky's probably in the millions and millions and millions of bahts. So they want to make it so that it's reasonable, that it's realistic. So again, issue one, danger. Issue two, healthcare, his healthcare, the government healthcare. Issue three that I really wanted to talk about, and that I find commendable with human nature, really. I've seen this in so many states and so many countries, and that is people coming together in a time of need. So two communities have stepped up for Ricky, and one is, I think I say this before, it's the foodies, the culinary community, have really stepped up full throttle, I guess was the term used in one of the stories, and the Muay Thai community. Now, I am not familiar with the chefs and the culinary and the foodies, but I am familiar with Muay Thai. And I know that when somebody is hurt in the Muay Thai community, so many people I've seen personally with my own two eyes, and including myself, I've given, have really ponied up and given to Ricky. I'm going to have his information down below. If you feel so compelled, do it. If not, that's fine too. But again, plan A and a plan B for healthcare, it's a touchstone. And so here we are actually pulling up into the beach, which I loved Phuket. The beach here was just incredible. It was beyond beautiful. It really reminded me of Hawaii or Jamaica. And I did not see anything like this in the Philippines, and that's just me not seeing it. I think it's probably there. One of the reasons I did not choose Phuket, I had many reasons why not choosing to live in Phuket, because I did love the beach here, and I could go to this beach every day and swim. The first reason that I found was that it was more expensive. It was more expensive than other places, even seemed to be more expensive than Bangkok. The beautiful beach here. The other reason, it was really crowded. It was super crowded, and I didn't like that. And I don't like that here. And the number three reason, and this really, they didn't have the diversity that I was looking for. Phuket seemed to be a great place to honeymoon if you're from Moscow. And, there's no judgment on that. I'm just saying that, Here in Hua Hin, I feel like I'm at a UN meeting, and I like that. There in Phuket, not so much. So the bottom line to this whole video is just situational awareness. Have a plan for your medical care. Make sure everybody knows, and just be careful out there. With that in mind, I will wish you a good Monday, and thanks for listening if you've come this far, and I'll catch you next time.